Hello! We are Dicesylvania. We've seen your comments and we have answered. Today we have a painting episode with Steph,
Hello.
who you might have seen in Starfinder, and Karla,
I'm just a newbie.
our DM and also Grace. So, what are we painting today?
So today we're painting these Dreadblade-Harrows. These are a couple of, I believe, Warhammer miniatures.
Yes. From the...
Age of Sigmar, if I'm not mistaken.
I hope you're not mistaken. I'm starting to learn Warhammer, but I don't know. It's complicated.
It's complicated.
It's like chess with D&D.
Basically, yeah. So, do we have any ideas of how we should paint them, or the colors, or what story they would tell, or anything like that in the beginning?
I can comment where we're gonna use them, since you've seen the Council of Chaos last time, where we are heading towards battle. You've seen one on two fronts, and we're gonna use these babies in one of the armies, but you have to guess which one.
So wait, we'll actually see them?
Yes. Why do you think we're filming this episode?
We're
And
seeing them
Stefan
right now.
here. And Stefan here will explain how to properly paint minis, because none of us
have any idea. I mean, you've seen the last painting episodes and we don't have any skills.
The one with the Christmas with Timmy and
Yeah.
the hag.
But hey, anyone can paint. So, if you don't mind a master, what would be the first thing one would do to start painting?
Well, first of all, the fact that anyone can paint, I am perfect example for that. I'm not a master, but I have learned a couple of tricks, and the best trick I've learned so far is speed painting. So my painting career, so to say, has completely changed since I started doing speed painting. It's a technique, so to say, that makes you paint a lot faster, as the title says, and also it really uses a lot of the miniatures textures in your advantage. And it makes everything pop a lot more easily. You don't have to paint every detail on, you don't have to shade it very carefully, because the paints will do the job for you. And the first thing you should do before painting is get a miniature.
We have those. We have two identical ones.
Get your paints, get some water,
Which
maybe
we also have.
Yeah, we have two, but why do we need two glasses?
It's best to have two. You can do it with one, but it's best to have two. One of them is to rinse your dirty brushes.
Is the small one or the big one?
It's whichever one you like.
Is the big one.
Okay. So one of them is to rinse your dirty brushes, and one of them is to keep the water clean and just wet your brushes, not get them dirty for the next color that you're going to put on.
And because I haven't painted in 2 years now, what are these? I remember them, but I have no clue as to what they actually are, instead of, boxes.
These are wet palettes. So basically what this is, it's a kitchen chamois with some baking paper on top of it. The kitchen chamois is wet, and you put some baking paper on top so that you don't get a lot of water on your paints. You put your paint on the paper, and you can see on this one at least, there's already water pooling through. It will keep it damp. And if you're painting a lot, some people paint whole armies at the same time, and maybe you take a break for a few hours, or maybe you stop for the day and continue tomorrow. You can put the lid on and the paints will stay wet, they won't dry out.
Oh, so it's a better alternative than those things we used in school, the paint whatever.
Yeah,
they're
because
called.
this you can also mix very thin layers of paint and they will still stay wet. Otherwise, if you put them on something a dry surface, they will just dry within a matter of minutes.
Okay. So, do we start painting?
We can start painting.
What colors are we using? I mean,
So we were kindly asked by the owner of these paintings to use red for the capes and white for the bones, and the rest is up to us. Usually I like it a lot when somebody tells me what color they want, because I don't have to make that decision myself. This is usually the step that takes the most time for me, is looking at a miniature for 40 minutes to an hour and trying to decide what colors I should use. But if I already have a color scheme, then it's a lot easier for me.
Cool. So have you used that 40 minutes to pick the colors?
Well, I haven't had to. We already know, like I said, red for the capes and white for the bones, and the rest, we can use some dark colors for the horse flesh.
and some rust
These
for
are,
the sword.
yeah, some rust, some metallic paint, and rust for the sword. These are sort of ghostly apparitions, so we can use some.
I wonder on which army they're gonna be.
I just got spoiled. Thank you, Karla.
We can use some faded greens, maybe on the horse to make it look a bit more ghostly.
Hey, that would be super cool.
And we also have the base for these. Fortunately, these can still be detached from the base. We also have the base, which has a lot of detail on it, and we can go crazy there if we want to. There's some vines, some flowers on it, some skulls.
How do you detach it without breaking it? Can I have the detached one?
Yeah, you can have this one.
I'm very scared that I'm gonna break a
This one-
Warhammer
that
expensive
one's
miniature.
actually easier to detach than this one. This one is a bit harder because it has 2 attachment points. And I don't think I'm gonna detach this one because I'm also scared.
Question. I remember, I think, asking the same thing last time. Is it easier to paint a big mini or a small mini?
Well, that kind of depends. I prefer painting smaller minis. Bigger minis have overall bigger surfaces that you need to cover. It's not as easy to get even layers on a bigger mini. Smaller mini, you have a bit more control, but at the same time, if your hands are shaky or if your eyes aren't as good, you can get away with a lot more mistakes on a smaller mini, in my opinion.
Okay.
Do you think you'll do better than the last time?
I hope so. Last time I made a hag and everything was green at the end. So we still use it, but yeah.
I think it's time to begin the painting. Contestants, take out your brushes.
What type of brush? I'm not a contestant. I'm gonna be învățăcel. What's the word?
The disciple.
Disciple. You're gonna be. What's the word in Star Wars that they use? I'm gonna be a Padawan. Huh? Padawan. You're gonna be the master
What
Jedi.
brushes should you choose in the beginning, at least? Thin. Medium.
So let's take these. We have a large assortment of brushes here. For starters, you can use like a medium brush. This isn't too big, it's not too small. We have a lot smaller brushes like this one, or even this one is extremely small. These are great for doing small details, but they don't hold a lot of paint, and the little amount of paint that they hold is gonna dry very fast. And since we're doing speed painting, we don't need that much control for details. We can layer a bit of paint on top of the prep work that we've already done, and it's gonna work in our favor. So like a medium-sized brush like this one should be great for starting. Can I have this
Thank
one?
you.
It's like a wand from Harry Potter.
Avacadabra.
You just killed the audience. Oh no!
And I'm gonna pick one for myself. Let's see.
It's super cool. It has this bump.
This one's a bit big, but I'm gonna make do. Actually, I have this one as well. We're gonna put these off to the side for a second here and continue on.
I have a question. What has happened here? I think there's a layer on top. I believe it's called priming, or?
Yes.
Oh, is it?
How did you prime them?
So first of all, you need primer in order for the paints to stick. You can get away without priming your minis, but you're not gonna have a great time painting.
Okay.
So with these, and this is something people do when using. It is the thing you do when you speed paint. You use black primer as a base. And on top of that, you use zenithal priming, which I didn't use here actually.
But how would zenithal priming?
What is zenithal priming?
Yes, I was gonna get around to that.
Ooh.
Zenithal priming is when you take a miniature and you spray white from above, and it should sort of mimic natural light, the way sunlight or whatever falls onto the miniature. These weren't such a great pick to use zenithal priming on, because zenithal priming is great when you have like a minifigure standing up. These are quite horizontal, so when you do zenithal priming on them, you kind of highlight too many things, and when you highlight too many things, you're no longer highlighting anything. But I have a miniature where I have used zenithal priming, and you can see on this one there are a lot of details in the muscle on the top of the head that you can make out, because a lot of white primer has gotten onto them.
Oh, this is very cool. Can you see, guys? The zenithal primer, and it sort of highlights. Cool.
And the third step is dry brushing, which is what I've done here heavily. Dry brushing is, again, it has a descriptive name. You use a bigger brush. I use these makeup brushes.
That's a neat trick.
And you get some white paint or white primer on them. You rub almost all of it off, like you just go crazy on a piece of paper or something until you can't get any paint out of it, and then you just brush against the miniature until it's not gonna take long, but it's going to basically bring out all of the small details. You can see here, like the horses' skulls have been highlighted, the reins here have a lot of detail in them that has been highlighted again. For this miniature at least, there were a lot of details that I didn't know existed until I did the dry brushing. Like you can also see the muscle fibers on the horses now. It basically takes all the high points in the miniature and brings them out, makes them white. Whatever is recessed in or is deeper stays black. Like you can see the eye sockets are just black. There's no white paint in there. So this is gonna help us a lot later when we use our paints to highlight everything.
You know what I just realized? Because I did some restoration courses, and this is actually something that is also used for restoration, and it's called patina in Romanian.
Yeah.
But I thought it was just old age patina,
Yeah, no, this dry brushing is used for a lot of things, and patina is one of them. Usually, you do that at the end of painting something that you want to look weathered. Yeah, we do it here as pre-prep.
That's super cool. So
let's start painting.
Painting.
What colors are we using? I think you can show.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with a couple of reds. I'm not sure exactly which one to use here,
Let's pick one.
but we can go for the
Blood red.
blood red. Yes. One thing you need to keep in mind, because you have a darker base on these miniatures, and you usually have a light shining onto them when you paint. You have to keep in mind that once you turn off the light and everything goes back to normal, your paint job is gonna look a lot darker than it does right now, you know, with the lights on. So you have to keep that in mind and maybe paint a little bit brighter than you wouldn't normally, because once they dry and they lose the shine and everything, they're gonna look a bit more muted, a bit darker. So that's another thing to keep in mind, I guess.
So not the blood one.
I mean, we can mix it. We can use some. That's good practice to do before painting.
Shake the bottle. Can I shake one as well?
Go crazy.
Can I shape one as well? Yeah.
Let's go crazy.
So, how does one thin the paint, actually?
Water. Water mostly. There's also medium. I haven't used it so far, but if you go pro,
If you go pro.
you
It's a medium.
you can use medium. Medium is this substance, this thing that you can use to basically thin your paints without changing their color. Water will sometimes, you know, wash the color out a little bit, but medium will keep the color as it is. So, like I said, I haven't messed with it. I haven't used it so far, but I have learned about it.
Okay.
You can
Do you need
So
this
you have one drop of this is the recipe, guys. One drop of red paint. Haha.
you can be a bit braver with that.
One braver drop of red paint. Eh. Okay. More?
No, but just when you need more, you'll get more.
Okay.
And could you perhaps, when painting with thin paint, could you mix the colors on the mini, or you should always
You can mix the
them?
colors on the mini. You can do that. I think it's a bit complicated. It's a bit of an advanced technique.
But there's a chance you can destroy the mini if you.
You can never destroy the mini. If you make mistakes, you can paint over them once they dry.
Oh,
But
that's how you do it.
But yeah, you can do blending while painting on the mini, but I really don't have the space in my mind for it. Best thing to do is also get some black and white on the palette. You're gonna use plenty of black and white
Black
in the
and
process.
white. Putting a bit of a braver drop here. I don't know if you guys can see. Gonna show it to you. 2 brave drops. I'm gonna put also a braver drop here.
My question is if at some point you think that you've painted a miniature badly, how can you restore it? You need to reapply the what was it called?
The primer.
The primer?
You can do that. That's definitely one thing you can do, but that doesn't work. I mean, it works here because
It was this one?
yeah, because we're gonna be using thinned paints, so we don't really build up anything onto the miniature in order to, you know, lose detail or anything. But if you're using thicker paints, you can get a wet brush, work it in, and slowly it's gonna wet the paint as well, and you can remove it with a brush, clean it up, and try to paint again.
So,
let's start.
what's the first thing besides putting the paints and the... What should you start with? That's on the mini. What's the first thing you should paint?
There is no such thing. You can...
Lies.
No, there is...
I guess we're starting with red.
Yeah. We have red on the table, so... We can start with the capes.
Wouldn't it be easier to start with the bones, because then when you paint the hand and let's say it goes through the cape, you can come back with the reds?
You can do... Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We can do that. But,
You're a genius.
I have painting skills.
That's a bit of an over.
I have painting skill adjacent skills.
You have
Sensations.
Precision skills.
innate painting knowledge.
Wow!
Yeah.
Almost instinctual.
Wow!
Yeah, we have some bone white for the bones.
Do they sell bone white? Oh, you can give me some of that.
Now,
Let's share.
That's
No, I
okay.
can
Can
also
you-
take on from the palette.
is that
That's a big
a
drop.
bad thing?
This happens from time to
Yeah,
time.
but we paint 2 minis and we are economical.
Let me use a different brush so I don't get these ones dirty.
So that's not necessarily a big problem.
No,
Because we have the wet pellets.
We
so
have
they
the
don't,
wet pellets.
They don't go dry.
that should be enough for everybody.
Everybody!
Yeah, so your paints are sometimes gonna dry in the bottle and they're not gonna let you know that they did that until they squirt onto the palette.
That's what she said.
And now I have chosen my dirty glass.
And we pick white, bone white.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do
Just
that.
bone white, not mixing it with anything.
I don't think we have to right now. We can put some detail on top of it later on. And by detail, I don't mean any, small brushes, controlled movements. We can use some washes at the end.
And what bone should I start? Face, skeleton, the skeletal horse.
You have the ribs, you have
The ribs. Let's go for the ribs.
Yeah, let's go for
God
the
help
ribs.
us all.
I have a really important question. Do you think that it's important to tell a story through painting? And if yes, would you want your paintings right now, your minis, to tell a story all on their own without using words? As in you look at it and...
That's a big question. So, in my point of view, the mini will tell me the story while I'm painting it. If we're trying to be romantic, I have things in mind at first. When I start painting, I have an idea. If I'm painting a miniature for myself, maybe it's a character that I'm going to play. Where does this person live? What do they do? Do they stay in the forest a lot? Should they wear green if they're in the forest? Should they wear, brown if they're in the desert or something like that? But sometimes I just don't have anything for them, and I just pick a color scheme that looks nice. And at the end of that, this mini has a story for me. Okay, so why is this wizard's cloak so bright blue?
So is this
Because-
sort of your process? You paint and then you make the background?
Usually, yeah.
that's-
But like I said, sometimes I have a miniature for that I'm painting for a certain purpose, and in that case, I just I've made my decisions already. Like we did the Starfinder campaign with Count Bear as a DM. I had my character Vizisen, who I imagined as a sort of space nomad, looking through the information for the race of that character. They come from a desert planet. The miniature had a cloak, so immediately I was okay. Sand-colored cloak. There's a mask that's gonna, what? Dune just came out.
Yeah.
I can take some inspiration from there.
Let's create Lizan Al-Gaib.
Yes. So,
You say Doom or Dune?
Dune.
Dune.
Dune, okay. I wanted to mention Dune
Why?
Because it's the first thing that comes to mind when you say desert planet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
the
that's
spice
the,
must be-
the
It was the first thing that came to my mind when I was painting that.
I think to everyone, when you say space planet, it comes Dune, and then rephrase. Whomever controls the spice controls the galaxy.
yeah.
Either that or it could be Tatooine.
Yeah, but
That was an inspiration. Dune and Mad Max was an inspiration
Ooh.
for the Red Kingdom. I don't know if you guys seen what the hell is there, but
in Mad Max, oh my god, yes.
not in Mad Max, in the Red Kingdom.
Oh, in the Red Kingdom.
For our campaign.
On that note, because I was talking about he who controls the spice controls the galaxy, I mean, this might be right now or somewhere in the future, but he who controls our Patreon controls perhaps what we'll do next.
Not perhaps, for sure.
No. There's a hierarchy, I think, right?
Yeah.
And for $1, I think. Again, we haven't
When we're
maybe
filming this
did it
episode-
right now, but somewhere in the future. I mean, perhaps we have the Patreon linked in the description, perhaps not. I actually don't know right now. But for $1, actually, you tell me. What was that with thank you?
So we're gonna have 3 or 4 tires, but we're sure about the first two.
The first two, yeah,
The
the first
first
two are
two. So
for
for
sure.
$1, you will have a dedicated thank you post, and also you're gonna appear in the videos as you are our Patreons, and we're gonna thank you for your contribution, for keeping us doing this content and supporting us, keeping the studio alive, because we have to pay rent for it, unfortunately, and also editing. And then we have the $5 subscription. I think it has a cool name, but I don't know it right now. We're gonna see it in the future.
Whip.
Yeah. For where you can also vote in our monthly polls. What content should we do next for you, our Patreons?
And you must understand that this Patreon is a kind of a blessing, because maybe we want to explore some other things, maybe more mature or something like that. And YouTube, being YouTube, might seize this opportunity to attack us directly, and so
Or not. We don't know the algorithm. We're still learning.
Or not,
We're new
but
on YouTube.
we'd like to have a safety net in case something like that happens, because it's really hard. I mean, filming, editing, and so on, and it's kind of bad, I think. If someone tells you, "Oh, you did so much work," nah, your money's mine.
But we don't know if this gonna
Yeah.
happen later, so it's important
No, we-
for you have
we don't. No,
have
we don't.
your guys support if you like the content to help us keep
Plus, it
doing.
shows us that you like us,
Yeah.
and it's important for
And
us.
if you like Stefan.
Yeah, and if you like Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan is cool. He knows stuff like Zenith priming.
Yeah.
Would have known.
I've never heard of Zenith priming. I thought Zenith was the center of the sky or something. No,
It's the highest point
the
in the
highest point
sky.
of-
I
yeah.
did it in physics.
That's exactly why it's called zenithal priming. It's from
Whoa!
Wow. I did this. Please verify.
Please verify.
If this is okay. I did 5 face,
That's-
I did ribs, I did...
That's actually very good.
Okay, what?
You can also do
His face.
His face, yes. But
I did very good, guys.
there's a helmet there. Don't cover that because we have plans for that.
What's the hell?
A helmet for whom?
I've seen
For the
it.
horse?
No, for the guys.
Guys, you
the
do the
dude.
priming so you know what things to paint,
Oh!
not to keep the light and the shadow. I just realized. Oh my fucking
Thank you,
god!
Stefan, for explaining it
Because
about 10 minutes
otherwise
ago.
I wouldn't have seen the helmet, guys. It's right here. There's a helmet.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of details you don't see.
But I thought in the final work, this is for
No,
us
no,
to
no.
see.
Yeah, exactly. No. So these were a very bland plastic gray when I started. And you can see some of the details, of course, you can see details on it because it's a 3D object and you have light around you. And after that, I primed it black. And when you prime these figures black, they start looking like a character you haven't unlocked yet.
Ooh, okay.
A lot of the details just goes away. But you bring it out with the dry brushing and the zenithal.
Oh.
I'm receiving a telepathic message from Paul asking me, "Hi, Steph. What the fuck is Slapchop?"
Slapchop is
Thank you, Paul.
popular name for this technique.
The fast one.
Yeah, speed painting is also called Slapchop.
Why is it called Slapchop?
I have no. Do you remember the? I think it was the Billy Mays commercials with a little kitchen gadget that you put onions under it and you just slap it and it chops them.
Those ones.
Yeah, that's called the slap chop.
And
I don't know if it's
okay.
related in any way, but you know, it's quick. Just put a little bit of things and slap chop and done.
And because Slapchop / fast painting is fast, how fast it actually is? I mean,
Well, I went from a 4-hour painting time initially to a 2-hour painting time the first time I tried it. So people who have more experience than I do can paint one of these. Actually, this is a large figurine, but a smaller one, let's say. They can do it in 15-30 minutes. That still sounds crazy to me. I'm still somewhere at 2 hours because it's speed painting. I don't actually do it because it's fast. I do it because it's easier.
okay.
So I don't care about being so quick about it. I actually love it because of all of its other advantages.
So is it better than other techniques, or is just?
I wouldn't
fast?
say it's better. Things look, especially for beginners, things look a lot more polished, let's say, at the end. When I painted my first mini, and I still have it, it looks like at least the face looks like a blob with eyes. And then, you know, I started painting more and more. I watched all of the YouTube videos on painting and followed all the tips and tricks about highlighting and doing everything. And at some point I spent 8 hours on a miniature, and I was very happy with how it turned out. I wasn't happy about spending my whole Saturday painting that mini, but it came out very well. I had highlights on the muscles, and I wasn't using any sort of pre-prep. It was a white, stark white miniature when I started, and then I highlighted everything. I used all the tricks that I could find on YouTube, and it was the same result when I first did speed painting. After my first speed paint, I was so proud of my miniature. It was the first time I posted a mini on Instagram or anywhere else. That one was, like I said, there were details on it that I didn't know were on the miniature. I forgot what the question was. I've been talking for the past 5 minutes. I forgot what the question was.
If it's
the best taste.
the best, yeah.
Do you like chocolate?
Do you like chocolate?
So it's the best for me. It works for me. It works for a lot of beginners, especially if you don't have the time to spend. People like to take their time and paint a single miniature for 2 days to get, you know, all of the highlights, all of the details. You know, another thing I haven't done ever is try to simulate lighting. Like, I don't know, maybe you have a sci-fi miniature and they have a laser gun, and maybe that laser gun has some charging lights and everything. And then you want to like also show the light reflecting on the character's face.
Paints that you use for those?
I mean, not really. You used you use the same. I mean, this technique should usually use different paints than we are. There are speed paints, or I forgot what they're called. We'll call them speed paints.
Speed paint. I did boo-boo.
What boo?
I did a bit of white on the red cape.
It's okay.
Then
it's,
you can.
I can cover it later, right?
Yeah, you can also get another brush with a bit of water on it to just absorb. Maybe
You will see the absorption.
The absorption, Engardium absorption.
So, it was here.
How do you find the speed painting, Karla?
I find it that I hope I'm entertaining you
Because
guys.
you're looking a bit
Because I don't know
stressed.
what I'm doing. You know, also because I have long hair, I should have like maybe caught it in something. Because Stefan has it up, you have it up, I don't have it up, and it gets in my face. And I want to do a good job for you guys at home, especially for the comment that requests us to paint a monster, and we're painting one.
A monster.
A monster. I'm gonna stop making that.
I don't know if I should ask this question.
Monster.
A monster.
Monster.
A monster, my liege. Because you might spoil us our fun, and so I will direct it first at Steph.
Yeah.
Without knowing the, I think, lore of Warhammer or what Karla wants to use these horsemen for, looking at the mini, what's the story of your character, your mini?
He's just a little guy.
Yes.
Don't want to pay his taxes and wants to be left alone.
And he revolts.
But the government doesn't leave him alone.
Ooh.
The king wants his levies. I don't know.
And so he cursed himself.
You're very close, Stefan.
Really? So, you have it here first, folks. People in Vim do not want to pay their tax.
No, because this is uprising right now. There's been a calamity, there's war coming, there's a bit of speciesism.
And perhaps we will be attacked on two fronts.
No, we know we're gonna be attacked. You guys
Perhaps we'll be attacked on two. I've been here the previous time we recorded this. And let me tell you
know. You were
that...
at the table. No. You were at the table at the council.
Oh, yeah.
There's sometimes spaces out.
Yeah.
But you know what? Go see Vim, The Tale of Immortality, the playlist, and see what we're painting here if you also like D&D sessions. We're at session 39 and with session 40 to coming with the war. It's gonna be a very heavy combat month.
Ooh, reminds me of big Crimson Peak.
You painted the cape already without me.
Is the whole cape ready?
Well,
Check the boat.
Check the boat.
Check the
oh, I
boat.
forgot about the hands. Yeah.
The handsies. Where the Napoleon keep his armies.
So
In the hands.
No, in his sleeves.
this,
Oh my God.
this is good.
Is
You
this
have
drinking water?
maybe you have a lot of control on it, and you haven't spilled over. One note though,
Oh.
you should apply your paint a bit thinner. It's not a problem. We can fix this.
By throwing the mini away.
By purging it into the
This is gonna be fixed later with a bit of a wash. But look,
Show it at the camera.
so in the fingers here, around the grip of the sword. On my mini, you can see the black space between the fingers. And here you've put a bit too much paint, and that detail is kind of lost.
Can I thin it with water?
You don't need to, because later on, actually at the end, we're gonna use some black wash, which is just black paint with a lot of water on it, and that black paint is gonna pool in all
the
of
creases.
the creases and corners and everywhere. So that's fine. But just look at this cape. There's a lot of thin paint. There's a layer of thin paint on there, and all of the details that the dry brushing pulled on through can still be seen through it.
So I have to mix it with a bit more water. I use just raw paint. So don't do that, Karla. Don't do that at home, guys. Don't be Karla.
That's why a wet palette is great. Because you have a lot of, like, look at my palette here. We have this red and we have this part that I pulled to the side where I just pull the paint onto the palette. There's already moisture on the palette and you just do this on the brush and then you're ready to paint it in a thin layer. Maybe I should have started with that.
Yeah,
It's an excellent tip.
it's okay.
Okay, it's okay to
You
be...
said that maybe we'll use metallics for the sword and the armor. You can use metallics with fast paint, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to use metallics, you should be a bit careful with it. You can't do it like I use the red here, because metallics are a bit thicker and they cover a lot more detail. So if you use it on this sword or whatever, it's gonna be fine, because later on we're gonna maybe put some rust on it or something like that. But with metallics, what I like to do is almost just dry brush the metallics on. So just put a little bit on a thicker brush like this, a little bit of metallic paint, wipe most of it on. Not like when you're actually dry brushing, when you wipe all of it and it's just left in the, whatever's dust is left in the bristles. You wipe most of it on and then you just go on top, and then it, especially with like this old looking sword, it's gonna give you an effect of actually let's try to do it right now on this sword. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about.
Focus on Ștefan.
Oh.
Maybe this isn't the best brush to use because this is a bit of a, yeah, I mean it has seen better days. And I'm gonna wipe most of it on this tissue here. And when I put it on the sword, maybe I wiped a bit too much. So let's get a bit more. When I put it on the sword, it also creates like streaks of metallic, and you can also, if you look at it carefully, there's some black from underneath that's showing through.
So cracks and
yeah, so it looks a bit more weathered. So yeah, you can definitely, and I always use metallics on my miniatures. I love using metallics on my miniatures, especially like on these horse reins here. I'm definitely gonna brush a little bit of metallic on these to make them look like some metallic spikes or something like that.
But what about if you have a metallic character? For example, let's see, if you have a golden tree you have to paint.
A golden tree?
A golden ant.
Oh. Well, I mean,
Or a golden dragon.
at that point, I think what's gonna help you best is the last step, which is applying a wash. Like you get your dragon, and again, like on here, the dragon is quite textured. They have all the scales is quite textured. So if you use the metallic paint, it's gonna go on the edge of the scales. Maybe you have like a golden dragon, use a little bit of orange or scarlet underneath, then put some gold or bronze paint. But again, brush it against the scales so it builds up like on the edge of the scales, gives you a very nice metallic shimmer. And at the end, when you do the wash phase, the black wash is gonna go into all of those scales and basically give you like an outline of each scale. And that's what I love about, there's no effort in it. You can just go about it, pour some paint on it, and it's gonna show up fine.
Do I do
inspection time.
the rim of the... Show it also to the camera.
I think I am.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, this looks like...
Do I do the
This
rim?
looks really good.
The rim of the cape, and also the back layer of the cape, the other
So
layer?
I'm not sure about the back layer of the cape. This is like the very tippy top of it.
Tippy toppy.
We can do it red. Wait, it's your monster.
Okay.
We can keep it red, or we can do it like a darker color.
I would do it a darker shade of red, or I would go full contrast and make it darker green or something.
Darker green, so it's gonna be like a Christmas monster.
The spirit of
Okay,
Santa
darker
Claus.
blue then.
A darker blue. Yeah, actually,
That's still
I would even go with like a light blue, like an
Okay.
something
Like a ethereal blue.
like a blue green. Yeah.
Turquoise.
Let me make my decision.
okay.
Yeah, but again, we can darken this up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can mix a little bit of black, and be careful. A little bit of black goes a long way when you mix your colors. I think black and white are like they I don't know what kind of magic they put inside those pigments, inside of those paints, but they go a long way. So if you wanna darken something up and you put a little bit of black and you think it's gonna be fine, you've probably already put too much on.
That's enough, or should I put more?
I think that should be fine.
Give me ghee. Karla got away. We have a runaway. Please help us. Guards, bring Karla back.
I went to get some balls. What are these?
Okay, yeah, these are paint mixers, and it says on the packaging mixing balls.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, they said it actually.
They write it, you said it.
You put these ball bearings inside your paint bottle, and it's gonna help with mixing it when you can hear one here faintly.
And how often should we change them?
You don't need to change them. These are stainless steel, so they're not gonna rust.
Can I see your miniature? I don't know if I
Yes.
should paint the rim of the...
No, I didn't. Maybe that could be a little bit more metallic or something. We
Oh,
can.
but they're a bit different.
They are a bit
This
different.
one has, you can see the armpit, and this one doesn't have an armpit. This one is a straight hand. Hee hee! Touché! Pew!
And one.
Which one was mine? Not the armpit guy.
One is landing on his forward legs, and the other one is
Ah.
leaping from his hind legs.
Ah.
The same question I posed to Steph.
Yeah, I wasn't done.
Oh, forgive me.
Okay, yeah. So you can mix your paints better, of course, like a rattle can. You know.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
hear the ball bearing inside. I didn't know these existed. So I just went to the hardware store and got some stainless steel, screw nuts, and put those inside. Those work just as
Oh,
well,
so
and they're
same
probably cheaper than these.
Ooh. Because I remember having a paint can when we painted the Dicesylvania logo and all that white. And I remember having a big ball inside.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would you need that? I mean,
To mix the paint. Usually, I've had some of these paints because I took a long break at some point, and some of them separated. And what happens is like the pigment, the color, goes to the bottom in like a hard layer, and the rest of the medium or whatever it is floats on top of it like water and oil. And I was shaking them like crazy and nothing was happening, and then I got some of those bolts, screws and nuts and whatever and put them in, and it just started mixing.
so
It's like basically having something to mix inside.
they extend the life of paints, basically.
They can, yeah, that's one thing you do, and it's always good to mix your
But can you
paints before painting.
salvage hardened, like stone-ish paints with them?
I'm certain you could do it.
But
Is it worth it?
yeah.
And these aren't expensive. These aren't that expensive, and if you haven't used it for so long that it has gotten stone hard, maybe you don't need it.
Okay.
So is that an official Warhammer Citadel paint, or which one?
I have several. I have
silver one, I think.
I have
is
some
official.
Citadel, yeah. This silver one is an official Citadel, Warhammer, whatever. And I have these ones that I like a lot, Vallejo. You have several lines from there. You have game color, you have model color. I have a whole set which is actually intended to be used for painting medieval models, and then everybody who paints D&D miniatures is like, yeah, get that one first.
I mean,
And then you don't have to get a whole set. You can get just one bottle. You get that set, which is a good one, and then I need a green blue like this one. Well, actually, it's a blue green. I'm sorry. I need a blue green. Actually, that's a bad example because this one is from that set. But you need a bone white. Where do I go? You just go to the store, buy one paint. It's $2-3.
oh, okay. I thought they were.
And how much is in Romanian lei? Because
Like 15, 18,
lei?
15, 18.
inflation doesn't go into the painting, guys. It's cheaper than bread. It keeps
will
you
be.
happier. You don't get fat over it.
Yeah, you might lose a lot of weight if you consume these.
Don't consume it. This
So
is
they
not.
might be healthier.
No, this is not an encouragement.
The same question I have asked Steph will go to you, but because you are the DM and Vim is your world,
Yeah.
let's not make it who this character is in Vim, but
His name is Chupi.
okay.
I know, I'm kidding. I don't know his name, man.
And who is Who was Chupi before his death? I
Chupi
think.
Chups.
So they're brothers. They're twins.
And you can suck them like a lollipop. Chupa Chups. No, I'm kidding. No, it's not.
You can suck them like a lollipop.
So what is Steph doing? And then ask me the question. What are you doing?
I was mixing a little bit of
What?
blue and black. You can see.
This
No,
blue
for the,
and this black
Yeah.
and with water.
That's too much black.
Okay.
For the keep.
Yeah, for the cape. So, like I said, a little bit of black goes a long way. I just got a bit of black on my brush and tried to wipe it off here.
Because I'm looking at, forgive me, because I'm looking at Karla. Should you put the black into the blob of blue, or should you take them?
Is that okay?
That's fine. You need to
Bluer, thinner.
a bit bluer and thin it down a little bit.
A bit bluer and thinner, guys. You got
So,
it.
what I did here, well, you can see what I did here is I got some black, put it there because there was too much, and got some blue and
Put it in there.
found a separate spot on the palette so that maybe I want to use this blue to mix something else later, or maybe I just want to use the blue. I picked a different spot on the palette and went crazy. Actually, this could use a bit more blue because it's looking dark. Yeah, that's fine.
This is fine.
That's actually a cool color. Looking at it.
Dark turquoise. Let's go. And this, we're painting the lower cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lower cape.
The lower layer of the cape.
Maybe
Painting
put
it.
some more water in. I'm
More
doing
water.
the bad thing right now. Don't do it like me. I'm dipping my dirty brush in my dirty water to use on clean paint. But I didn't want to dip my dirty brush in my clean water and waste all of this paint because
Was that Romanian proverb? Don't do what the priest does, do what the priest tells you. So
yeah.
Fortunately, Stefan is not a priest, but okay.
yeah, but he is the priest of colors.
I
and the
wanted
priest
to
of
be one when I was a
paints.
child, but
Really?
Yeah, me too.
then I got better.
Yeah, me too.
What happened?
I got better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Tell
also.
Tell me your journey.
I grew up in an Eastern European country where, priests have status.
Okay.
But I didn't want that for myself necessarily. I just thought, being a priest. And my mother was very encouraging because my mother knew how priests lived. And she was like, yeah, that's a good career choice. If you want to be a priest, be a priest. We're not going to have to worry about you. And then I stopped wanting to be a priest. And
At what age? I'm curious.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I also wanted to be a priest, but then I found out I'm a girl.
You didn't know you were a girl?
No, I'm kidding.
I also wanted to be a priest, and I was really, really religious. Like, not necessarily fanatical, but I loved going to churches and things like that.
Yeah, well, because I grew up in a rural environment in the 90s with all the other kids in the village.
Yeah.
Some of the best times of the year were the holidays, and
Everybody was going to church.
we the kids were going to the parents left us alone, no supervision. We would go to the church and join the whatever ritual was going on.
Mass or something.
And then we'd have a lot of fun outside the church because we were kids. So yeah, that's probably why I wanted to be a priest, because I was having a lot of fun throwing rocks at other kids in the churchyard. But then all the lawyer shows started on TV
Oh yeah.
in the 2000s, and then I wanted to be a
Like
lawyer.
Suits?
Like
Did you
Suits.
like Suits?
Actually, I didn't watch Suits
No.
for a long time.
I haven't watched it still.
It's
Like
that's very cool.
my brother watched it, and it's this I secondhand watched it basically.
Mhm.
I saw some episodes at times and missed a lot more than I saw.
Mhm.
So I have a general idea of what happens in Suits, but that's all. No, there were a lot of shows when I was a kid.
Like?
I don't remember any of their names because I was a kid. And I knew at some point I wanted to be a lawyer specialized on children's rights.
Ooh.
And then I was encouraged by the fact that we have a really broken adoption system, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna become a lawyer and I'm gonna fix it. And then
Life.
That's cool. And what are you now? Are you a lawyer?
no, right now I'm a IT engineer.
Mm.
So yeah, that was a very stark change. I had some distant family working in law and learned how impossible it is to actually get a paid position and what being a lawyer actually means and not what the TV shows portray. So then I took a hard turn to the left.
So now you're what Cyberpunk would tell you, a corpo.
Yes, I am a corpo. I go to work and I read because sometimes there's not a lot of work to do.
Yep. Yep.
That's corpo.
I usually draw at work, or read.
I read on my drawing tablet. So
Oh, same. Have you, or both of you, read something interesting in the past, I don't know, week or so?
I don't know. I go to work and work a lot. I don't read. I'm in advertising and creative, and that's very demanding.
have read a lot of fantasy lately.
I just started reading Solomon Kane.
Oh.
Okay, I
The
have
guy,
zero knowledge.
the guy who wrote Conan the Barbarian,
Okay,
Robert
okay,
King
okay, okay.
Howard,
Yeah.
also wrote Solomon Kane, which again, I've read because that's when I started wanting to read. I wrote the poem titled Solomon Kane Homecoming, which is basically him as an old guy wanting to find peace at home, and talking to individuals about the monsters he faced and how he just realized that he can never find peace and must hunt monsters. And I've finished the second story in it. It's basically a Puritan Witcher, if I can.
Yours is darker, a bit more muted.
We can do that on yours as well.
Ooh.
I was thinking of lightening it up.
Do you want me to light it up? Because I have a lot of...
No, I was thinking actually of something else, like getting some. Once this dries,
Mm-hmm.
here, I have only 2 hands. Once this dries, I can add some like lighter blue and maybe some white at the ends to make it look a bit more ghostly.
And what should I do?
Well, you can let it dry for now, and then we can dry brush it a little bit with
A black.
actually wash it with a black. And once that dries, you can slightly dry brush it with a white to bring back some of the detail.
Cool.
But actually, that's probably gonna look a lot better once you turn off the lights than this is gonna look. This is gonna look quite muted. It already looks muted as it is. That's why I want to add a bit of highlights to it. So that's gonna look a lot better when you turn off the lights.
Okay, what about the base colors? Should we advance with the other, with the hair, with the fire, ghostly thingies,
So
strings around the hooves?
yeah, like we should, but I have no idea what to do there. Like, this looks so good as it is. If I was painting this for myself, I would be tempted to keep the horse. I mean, and I'm talking about the horse. Just the horse looks so good, just primed and dry brushed.
You know what we can do? I'm just brainstorming right now. We can like get the tip of the ghostly strings, ghostly flames, and make them a bit, but I don't know, ghostly turquoise at the tip, and sort of have a gradient towards the base of the horse, and keep the horse skin gray. As
So
it is.
I was thinking of like doing something close to what we did to the lower cape on my side, where it's thinner. You can see that color. I mean, not that color actually. You could use this color, like some greenish, but use it very sparingly and in a very thin layer. And it's gonna keep the horse dark, but give it like a gray hue. A green hue, sorry.
But just around the tips of the flamey thingies, or everywhere.
No, I was thinking everywhere, and the flamey thing is that's where we.
Okay, so it's something very washed with that green that you have.
Yes, but like very very light, and maybe darken it up a little bit beforehand.
Okay.
For me, I mean, it's not an offense or something. For me, the colors remind me of something adjacent to a jester, which is kind of freaky. Because you see a skeleton riding a dead horse dressed as a jester, and you're like, what is that?
Okay.
And I think I like that one better.
Yeah, like
You're
Because the
biased.
color. No,
the
because
color
the color.
pops. The color pops. Like I do this a lot where I fool myself when I paint because I always use a lamp. And yeah, this looks good. And then I turn off the lamp and there's
Too dark.
it's too dark or
Yeah, that
barely
one
looks
pops a
painted.
lot.
That one's gonna pop a lot more on a table, you know. So that, like I said, that's why I want to highlight it a bit more after this. This is already dried actually, but
Okay, give me the greenie.
Greeny.
The greenie, I put a bit of black. I'm gonna take the mini, put the palette, and
take
see
the
if I
mini,
can
put the
follow.
greenie.
Put the greenie, put the blackie, make the wacky. I'm gonna see if I can respect Stefan's instruction. I put a bit of green,
Put a lot of water on your
a lot of
in your
I'm gonna-
brush.
I'm gonna put it with this big brush.
Yeah.
Water, not
take-
muddy water, the other water. Water, more water, more water. I'm gonna just add water. I'm gonna do something that I've been painting with color-based waters like, I don't know, acrylics, tempera, gouache, for my studies for the admission at arts. And I know how to use watercolors. I'm gonna do something that I learned there, like add.
Oh, I like this green.
Okay, I think more water
I
is
haven't.
needed.
I don't think I've used it so far, or maybe I've used it a little bit, but mixed with a little bit of black for that horse, and again, putting it on in a very thin layer. I think it's gonna give it like an interesting hue, but keep the detail, keep it dark, and make it a bit ghostly. And then these flames, we can highlight them with maybe some very light blue, or you can
So that one over there, right?
this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
see.
actually an emerald. Or yeah, you are pointing at this one. This is a blue.
This?
No, I was pointing at the emerald.
Is this okay? I'm gonna use this one, which is very watered
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Can you watch it in the light so we make sure it's the same sort of tone?
It's actually very close. There's a little bit of difference because you have a yellow palette, I have a blue palette, so it's gonna look different. But
It's gonna pop differently. Let's see. Godspeed,
Uh,
let's go.
again, put it on thinly.
Thin, thin, thin. I'm gonna make it thin, very thin, the thinnest.
It's actually, this is basically already
A wash.
A wash, yeah.
We made a wash, guys. This is how you make a wash. Washy wash. We wash the horse now.
Yeah, we're gonna wash the horses. This is what a wash generally looks like. It's very watered down, and sometimes after you apply a wash to your paints, sorry, not your paints, to your minis, you can come in with a bit of tissue. Let's see, we can do that
Like
right
this?
now. You come in with a bit of tissue. No, not spread it. Like maybe it
Damp
pulls.
it?
Maybe like let's get a bit more water, and
I don't think
Some
I'm
of this.
doing it right.
and maybe it pulls somewhere. You can go on with the tissue, and it's just gonna suck it off and leave your paint area cleaner.
You have avoided my question for too long, Karla.
Okay, ask me again. I forgot.
Who is not necessarily in Vim, actually not in Vim, the undead rider you're holding in your hands?
Like mine is a little guy who doesn't like paying taxes.
Yeah, and he revolted against the king because he said,
No, I will not pay you anything.
but how did he become cursed?
He was cursed.
By the king.
No, he was cursed previously. He was a cursed little guy who didn't want to pay his taxes.
Oh.
And he was like, you know what, I'm going to inflict my curse upon others as well.
A nice fellow. And you?
I'm trying to think. What's the place where horses go to race? It's called
Horse.
Barn?
no.
The races. I know them as races. I don't know.
Like it's called something.
Paddock,
Where there's the jock, the actual.
Yeah,
jock,
I mean,
and the-
aren't they called just
Track?
horse? Track.
Yeah. So it's a guy who loved and was a contestant at the track. He won several times, and he had something like, I don't know, an incredible horse like secretary or something. And he just loved that life so much. So when he was old and died, made a pact with a necromancer, so he would keep competing with the ghostly horse. This secretary, the undead horse. This is my
This is
story.
Secretary the sequel.
And to ensure that he wins, he slashes the heads of his opponents when he gets past them.
Yeah.
Basically.
No.
Well, that's why
He pays fair.
that's why jocks are short.
Oh!
He doesn't have any legs. See?
Alright. Alright. Them.
He actually has them, but they're so short you can't see them.
So that's why his name is Chippy.
No, that was a joke.
I was gonna say jocks are short because this guy keeps them in check.
Ah.
If they're too tall, yeah.
That's a good one.
Like he just keeps his sword at level, and if you are too
You
tall,
are
you're going to
like the roller coaster.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, well,
you
you
gotta be this high. Otherwise, off with your head. Otherwise,
I will love your head.
off with your head.
So we've learned that Karla at work actually works.
Yeah.
But does Karla play video games? And also, do you play video games?
Yes, I do, but
Let's.
So I'm gonna start because I'm gonna finish first. Between my demanding, lovable work and my Dicesylvania projects, I have little time to video game. But I do like to video game. I like couch co-ops a lot.
Oh, I love couch co-ops.
A lot of couch co-ops, like It Takes Two, or I don't know how it's called right now. The one with cooking, like me and Karina were smashing it. Overcooked, yeah. Both games. We smashed it. Rayman, stuff like this. The one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and it was Brawlhalla or something
No, Broforce. Right?
I don't think the game is called like this.
Aren't you playing a 2D game with action movie characters?
Yeah.
Yeah, Broforce.
Pixel game.
Broforce.
Okay. Stuff like this. I like also playing on Nintendo, all the co-op stuff. But, however, I also like story-driven games. Like, I don't know, I really enjoyed South Park, all of them.
Okay.
The Fractured Butthole, and Stick of Truth, or what was it called?
Yeah, that was.
But Fractured Butthole was my love game. And then I also like right now, because I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I'm a bigger fan than Karina. I was a fan since the book started coming up in Romanian, and there was a funny Cercetaș and Viperin name calling.
Oh my god.
And I learned to read on Harry Potter. Like my first book, I finished it I think in a month. It was the first Harry Potter because I was barely learning to read. So I'm a big Harry Potter fan. So obviously I'm playing Wizards United. Wizards United is a phone game. It's Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm trying to pace myself so I don't finish the game until there is the expansion coming. And obviously I'm playing a Gryffindor, and obviously I don't like that Slytherin kid that keeps popping. I'm not gonna spoil you guys, but it's a Slytherin kid that keeps popping and makes me make missions with him, and I really like Quidditch, and that's it. I'm done.
Whoa.
Oh.
So you really like Harry Potter? A parenthesis, I forgot that we had Romanian translations for Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff.
Astropoof.
Yeah, that's an interesting name.
Everybody, like, I saw a lot of, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, when Harry Potter was still very much a new thing, a fresh subject to talk about. There were a lot of English YouTubers that were starting to look at, different translations for the houses. And there was this guy who I remember was going through the Welsh translations, and then he found the Romanian version of Hufflepuff, and he was a Hufflepuff on Pottermore. I found the Romanian translation, and so Astropuff, yeah, that's what I want to be. I want to be an Astropuff.
Yeah, but it sounds cool. Like Astropuff is way cooler than Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. But
Huff and Puff.
Gryffindor has...
Also, badgers are savages. And
yeah, especially honey badgers.
Badgers, they got no chill.
No.
Yeah. Because we're talking about Pottermore.
You know what? Let me just make a quick parenthesis. What's the actual fudge? Ravenclaw was translated Ovidiu. It's a different fucking
it's
bird.
Like a different.
It's a different bird.
Yeah. Ovidiu basically means Hawkeye or Raven Eye.
And they translated Ravenclaw into Hawkeye.
If you want to experience PTSD, read The Lord of the Rings translated into Romanian.
No, I can't.
I did that, and then... So I started reading The Lord of the Rings, and when I was almost finished, I was, say, 2/3 of the way through the Return of the King, the last book. And then somebody gifted me a Kindle, and it had Lord of the Rings in English on it. And I read the rest of it in English, and I realized how much easier it was to read, how much more enjoyable, how much more sense everything made.
I don't know, I've read, I think, less than the first chapter. Because when I've heard that the Mount Doom was Muntele Terorii, I was like, okay.
When I heard Samwise was Sam the Wise,
Yes.
basically.
Yes.
Sam Chillentelept, Sam the Wise.
Yes.
I hate red.
Yeah.
Every time Samwise was mentioned, I was like, that's not his name.
But you know, guys, you had this experience because you saw the movie. Like, imagine I didn't see the movies and I was reading
but
Astropoof and I liked it.
now I'm at the crossroads because I always tell people, if you know the original language, read it in the original language, because it makes much more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if I knew French, I think I would read Serge Brusolo in French instead of Romanian, because you can't find them in English.
Well, look, an interesting thing about the Witcher books, for example, is a lot of people, I read them in English, and then somebody told me that
They're
actually...
better in Romanian.
Yeah, they're better in
Because
Romanian.
it's a Slavic language.
Yeah.
Because the folklore of the Witcher world is, you know, based on Slavic folklore, and we already have those figures in our folklore.
Some of it.
Yeah.
80% of it.
Yeah, a
I
lot
miss
of
the
it.
bones. Checks. Checks inspections.
Inspection. Yeah, no, that,
It's like in the communist era, you had an inspection every 10 minutes. So,
Lair is fibbing right now because he is young and we are all young and have not catched the communist era.
I'm really happy that I didn't catch it.
Lair is more.
That is life. That is life.
Lair is way younger.
I'm 27
Oh,
by the time of this recording.
Okay.
sweet summer child.
I wanted to say
We're
something.
not that old. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you're
I'm 31.
what? Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
Turning 33 this year.
You're holding up good.
Yeah. You look amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
Lair looks older than you.
It's true.
We love you.
It's true.
We love you.
Why is it so bent?
This particular brush, that's how it came. It's basically to help you with some other miniatures, you know, get into some
Oh.
places. Maybe you have, you know, like if I wanted to get there, I can do this, but maybe, you know, there's a base or a detail here, and I can't get there because of the base. And you have this bent brush that makes it a bit easier to get into those tight spaces.
So it's a sort
That's
of a
nice.
manufacturer design.
Because we were talking about The Witcher. Do you know the etymology of the word striga in Romanian?
Strigoi?
No. Basically, as far as I've read in a book regarding the etymology of words, we had something similar, if not the actual striga here, as part of our folklore. And her screaming was so bad that you would die from it. And when someone would hear someone scream a striga, you were basically so frightened that you almost went into shock. And that's how probably the word got introduced into our language, and now means that thing. Which I find
To yell?
which I find it very interesting that the freaking monster is now the words. Hey,
The verb
the
to
verb
shout.
to shout.
I feel like a lot of monsters in our folklore can be explained by, you know, having a brain aneurysm. You know, you heard somebody shout and then you died, or
I'm done.
I don't know. I find the concept of monsters and folklore interesting.
Should we take a...
Yeah, I think we will take a short break, and when we'll get back, we'll see how fast they can paint the rest of the
The thing is...
minis in a speed draw contest, which will not happen. Stay tuned. And we are back.
Hey,
So, what were we doing?
playing D&D?
Oh,
we're
Painting.
painting. We have Stefan here, who's amazing and teaching us to do this.
We have Karla, who made me old.
Your mama made you.
Hey. So I remember we were talking about what you should guys
You should guys.
You should guys.
I should guys what?
I should guys on the street. What should you guys paint next on the mini? But I forgot what exactly. I remember we were like, should we paint the horse or should we?
Yeah, we were figuring out.
we were. I think we were done with painting the horse. My horse is done.
My horse is also done. You were inspecting it.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think at this point we can
The flames or?
maybe let's take a break from that and go towards the details. We have the helmet, we have the horse reins.
And what we are painting.
What are we going to do with that?
Yeah.
Well,
What color?
maybe we can go crazy and just do our own things there. Let me go grab a couple more paints.
But as Stefan is doing this, I want to point out how well is this wet palette holding. We took a break of 2 hours. We ate meatballs and we tell the Italian jokes. Italian, and the guys were having a smoke. I was not smoking. But however, look, this is holding up great. Now drying has happened in the meantime, and I haven't even put on the lid.
Do we have any brown?
Brown? Yes, maybe in that box.
In that big box.
Big box.
Let's see.
Let's see. The box of boxes. Yeah, that's a brown. And there's another one next to your finger.
This is a scarlet something. Blood. Okay.
Isn't blood basically brownish?
I mean,
Depending if you have diseases. But
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
you can break down any color into, you know.
Should we use?
Apart from the main 3 ones, which is red, blue, and yellow, you cannot. And then the non-color ones, black and white, you can. Yeah.
I think I ran out of brown, or my brown actually dried up. So we're gonna use whatever we've got here. And
Couldn't we use a
ball?
berry?
No, because I threw it away a long time ago. I remembered I had one, but then I remembered that I threw it away.
This made me think of when you beat out the egg white.
Yes,
Yeah, of course.
This made me think
Let's
of.
see. I think
If you know, you know.
Really?
this could pass.
Grab my cheeks.
Let's try it here. This is brown enough for me.
Let me also check the brown. Can I check the brown? The brown. This is the brown, you guys.
So
What's it called? It's brownish brown.
I would go for a brown on the
It's good. It's
like
classic brown.
what do you call these things on the horse's face?
The
The hardware. The horse reins, the everything, the horse tackle.
I don't know. Urs was he lived in UK. What do you call the horse railings on the face, the contraptions and so whatnot?
The leather bits on
Yeah.
the horse.
Yeah. Can you Google it? Bindings.
Bindings?
Barding.
Barding?
Maybe.
Whatever, we're gonna
Yeah,
paint it
the-
brown.
We're gonna paint the bardings, maybe.
The thing that the horse munches.
Guys, if we do not know, certainly you at home have access to Google or your smart cookies, and you know. Leave the answer in the comments so we learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a
thing
couple
is-
of straps here.
Straps.
Cool. And do we do that with raw paint or do I mix it with water?
We would mix it with water and maybe not as thin as the other ones, but still thin it down a little bit, definitely. And let's see.
It is called a night questo flesh.
It's Questo Flesh.
Quester flesh.
Quester Flesh?
Quester flesh.
Okay.
I have no idea what those are. Where is Eduard to tell us?
Flesh is-
Eduard knows the best words.
Yeah. The best words to describe Warhammer 40k.
The best words in English. All the geeky words.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I'm certain most of the English native people don't know themselves.
Maybe a bit thicker because I have it a bit too thin.
That's what she said.
That's better.
mine is quite thick. I'm gonna try to thin it. The paint, that is. Not something else, Ler. Stop laughing.
You see, now I made a boo-boo here and I got a little bit on the horse's snout. But since it's thin, and we can also fix it later, but most of it came right off.
I'm seeing if I'm showing you guys properly what I'm painting. I'm painting.
Bless you.
Thank you. In the meantime, because we were talking about video games, books, movies. What movies have you watched in the past, I don't know, let's say month? And you liked, not necessarily.
I liked Nosferatu.
Yeah.
I have watched The Substance.
Oh, I've
Okay.
seen that at the cinema. It was a very fun experience because there's a scene somewhere at the end where things start. You think throughout the movie, like, how seriously should I take this movie? What
Yeah.
is this an allegory for? And then at the end, it just goes insane.
Wild. Yeah.
And some girl in the theater started screaming and then laughing because she startled herself. And then you could feel the entire audience sort of unclench and relax at that point. And everybody started just like, yeah, this is, we're just gonna laugh at it.
Because I've
Yeah.
not seen it. What's it about? A quick synopsis?
So it's about this. It's what's the famous actress that's Monica?
Bellucci?
I think so.
Demi Moore?
Demi Moore. Sorry.
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. Sorry, I'm bad with names. So Demi Moore is playing this. She's still hot, right? Like this 50-year-old, super hot, super gorgeous yoga instructor, or I
It's
don't know,
like
fitness
a
instructor.
has-been actress.
Yeah,
Okay.
has been famous fitness instructor. But she's getting a bit older, and obviously the I don't know, the network production I don't know, bosses are not quite on board with this, and she is slowly being pushed, and they're being obviously misogynistic, and it's also about the aesthetic of ugliness a bit in the beginning part, and she starts to feel insecure and I don't know, cast aside. At any point, Stefan, correct me if I'm misinterpreting also the view. And after she's being cast aside, she discovers at some point, as she goes to the doctor, I don't remember why.
She was in a car accident.
Right. She was in a car accident. And as she goes to the doctor sort of, one of the assistants suggests that she goes and takes this visit card, and she would be perfect for something, and it's called, I think, The Substance.
I don't remember what it's called.
It's the business card. I think it's very cryptic, very beautiful designish examples I remember, and it's quite cryptic.
Child-proof is also Steph-proof.
Do you need some help?
Could you try? Because I'm not
Let's see.
having any success.
Oh no, it's also layer proof. Oh no.
Can I also proof it?
Like,
Did I? I didn't.
Can I give it a go?
Yes.
let's
Okay.
see if it's Karla-proof.
So after quick synopsis, after this happens, she goes.
I may have to try something.
She goes and
Like,
sort
you have
of.
to push it in.
I'm trying.
Give me?
She goes and. Give me 1 second. She goes. Let me give it a go. So she goes and takes this challenge and watches a film called about explaining what the substance is, and it's a one-use time, and you will integrate the process where you will have the best version of yourself. This is the idea, and
Maybe we just leave this one and
Yeah.
use a different one.
We have
Give it
failed.
One more try. You can hear it. Not want to give up. Yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah, try something else.
a different.
so after this, the Demi Moore actress goes and takes the substance, and spoiler alert, use it. And there's two Demi-Moors, one that's old and one that's
okay.
young. And they have
Okay.
to always switch 1 week, or things will get bad. And obviously she is not sticking to it.
Then things go bad, and it's like
Because you wouldn't have a movie otherwise.
if we go further than that, we're gonna spoil it. But yeah, the premise is that she takes this thing and becomes young, or actually creates a new body,
Oh, okay.
Not
one
that
that's
far.
young.
And the
of
whole
herself.
premise is remember you're the same person, but they're obviously not treating each other with disrespect, or I don't know, keeping the same deal.
Okay.
And there's a sweet scene where she meets with I don't know, former
High school,
Sweetheart.
not even just
admirer.
yeah.
Oh.
And she wants to go out, but she feels so self-conscious because obviously the world keeps sort of belittling women for being daring to age and not looking perfect all the time, and she just can't go out, and that broke my heart. That was the saddest part of the movie, I think, for me at least.
Do you want to know when I realized that Nosferatu is the best movie I think I've ever saw?
No, Lair, tell us.
Do you remember the scene when Hatter and what was her name? Because I have in my head Mina Harker, but it's not Mina Harker.
It's Helen.
Helen.
I was
Were,
gonna say Lily Depp.
were in her room and she began to cry after being relatively possessed and said, "Do not touch me. I am sinful and shouldn't be touched." And he said no, and kept on holding her.
Mm-hmm.
That was the moment I said, "This is the best movie I think I've ever seen."
Why?
Because it's a beautiful love story, and basically the whole movie is about love and the power of love. But if you know where the story goes, again, I will not spoil anything. That ending, besides being the most horrifying thing I ever saw in my life, I think from the perspective of Hatter's character, following the end of the movie, he lives hell on earth. Because he basically has to live a different kind of life. If you know again, not spoiling it. I mean, I could spoil it. The original film was when? In 1922, so...
Yeah.
I mean, everyone...
You're
I
talking
can-
about the old one?
Both, because...
They're the same?
Yeah,
This is a remake.
Yeah, it has some differences, like...
There are some differences.
Hatter in this one is much more of a character than it's in the original one.
Because nowadays women are taken not just as accessories.
No, not that. But Hatter in the original,
In
it's
cinema.
After
a...
the doctor?
No,
Oh,
Jonathan Harker wannabe.
Okay.
The husband of...
Yes.
I forgot her name. Helen.
Oh, so Hatter is the husband.
Yeah. Hatter is the husband, and in the original he's kind of a nothing character. I mean, he reads about vampire lore, he gets bitten by Nosferatu and remains the same oblivious person. In this one, he doesn't. The professor is different, Knock is different, Nosferatu is different. But yeah, and the idea of love-ish conquering the darkness is much more important to,
Much more prevalent.
yeah, in the remake.
Gothic horror.
Yeah. And yes, Gothic horror is actually about romance. Because it spans from romanticism and I think symbolism.
The moment I knew I loved this movie was when I heard the innkeeper curse in Romanian.
Oh,
Fute-var dracu mintea... Nu! Fute-var Dumnezeu mintea strălucită.
That was...
There's some actual scenes in Romania.
Yeah.
It's true Romanian, not just makeshift. And also in Romani language.
Yep. And I think, aside from the fact that Eggers is an insane person who actually wants to do historic fiction, I think the idea of Romanian being so prevalent came from Coppola first, in the 1992 Dracula movie. When kudos to Gary Oldman and Anthony Hopkins, although that Romanian doesn't sound good.
I had to
It's
look up
insane.
subtitles in order to understand any of the lines in Romanian in that movie. But yeah,
Este blestemat. Asta e legea lui Dumnezeu. And then the one where you actually need subtitles to understand what he says. But yeah.
pentru că morți un mereu pe tine.
Da. Se cunună robul lui Dumnezeu Mina.
Yeah.
Nu, robul lui Dumnezeu Mina cu robul lui Dumnezeu Ionatan. Ionatan.
It's like apples.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are you painting?
I don't know, I'm improvising. I made
Okay.
his hairies.
That actually looks nice.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
like you can already see the details on the stirrups here are a bit popping through because they were a lot lighter when we brushed it, so they're already popping through. And when you're gonna put on a
Dry brush.
a wash,
Mhm.
like the ones
The
in the
creases.
foreground, they're gonna darken up a little bit more and they're gonna
So
pop.
what do we do now?
I painted the helmet
Which color?
with
The blue?
a bronze.
Give me a bronze. I also painted the hilt of the sword.
and yeah, I painted also the hilt with bronze and
With
the
bronze, I made it with brown.
I put on bronze and then a little bit of brown because I realized it was too much bronze.
Okay, I will try to do the same-ish, I believe.
Are you also planning to paint the
Helmet?
not the helmet, the stand? The stand or what?
The base.
The base.
I mean, we could do that, but I think at this point,
The hilt is the base. The hilt of the sword.
no, the base.
No, the base of the mini.
The base of the miniatures. We could do that.
Or because we
Maybe we're gonna see them in Green Spring.
should we leave them at that because Crisping has stone roads or
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We could paint the base
It
regardless.
depends on how much time we want to spend on them. Like, we could leave them as they are, sort of not draw attention away from the miniatures. Or we could paint
I
them,
made the boo-boo.
use a tissue or
I made boo-boo on white.
it's okay, white goes on top of it.
am I the only one excited for where Vim goes next?
I think not.
Because holy hell,
Holy shit, holy hell, it's gonna be so much
I almost died a third time
with your third character.
with my first character.
Yeah.
Who lasted 3 episodes, 4 now,
Mm-hmm.
which is a top in Vim for me.
Top of the morning.
I hate my dice, by the way.
You hate your
I
dice.
hate my own dice.
You should buy new dice.
Nah, I think it's me that's the problem, not the dice itself, themselves.
When I gave you my cool dice, did it help?
Yeah, the big one, but that one got lost, I think.
No, I still have it. I took it back.
Oh.
I'm gonna give you my big dice back.
Yay.
You know, people have dice jails for
We also
Yeah,
have.
we also have one, but I'm not a persecutor of dice. I prefer to just throw them away.
you throw away the shiny math rocks.
Yeah, and have them return as some kind of Frankenstein and haunt me forever.
Let's see.
So, helmet done. Hilt, bronzing it.
There's also some bronze details
On
here in the
the
stirrups, like some rings. You can put a little bit of bronze on those as well if you want to.
Okay, I'm doing it. I hope you guys seeing how I'm trying to make this mini for you.
Oh, also, after speed painting, it's a good idea or not something to focus on to add highlights and details.
You can do that, of course you can. Like, when you're done, you're only done with the mini when you decide you're done. So at any point in time you can pick it up as long as you haven't put any varnish on it.
What's varnish?
Uh,
For those people who don't know what it is.
lacquer you know, to protect the paint so it doesn't rub off when
So
you...
the topper,
Yeah.
basically.
So as long as you haven't put any varnish on, you can pick it up 5 months after being done with it and paint some details or some highlights or something on it.
Have you ever went to competitions of painting? I mean, it's
Once I did join a competition once, not sort of by not by accident, but I was at D&D Con.
Oh, right.
D&D Day or D&D Con?
I think D&D Con.
Okay.
And for a while I was by myself with nobody else, and I decided I should find something to do, and the painting competition was on, so I joined that, and
You won something?
I did get like 4th place.
That's cool.
There were some guys who really like take painting commissions and make money by painting minis. Why am I mixing that color? Those guys like knew what they were doing a lot more than I was. And at some point I just got to like I was there to enjoy myself, and at some point I just got bored because I didn't really like the mini that much. So I did the best that I could with the time that I was willing to put in, and apparently that was good enough for 4th place.
Yeah, I mean, for the
That's
first time,
pretty
it's
cool.
amazing.
Kudos, congratulations.
Thank you. I don't know what to do with this, like
The rim of
the rim of the cape.
Darker red, maybe?
Or darker blue.
Or darker blue. Because now he looks like Santa Claus.
I think he looks like Santa Claus.
We got these little divots on it that we could touch up with a little metallic paint.
The 4 horsemen of Christmas.
I guess we could make it a bit of a darker red to...
So it pops up.
or a darker blue, maybe, because if we go with a darker red, it's not gonna really pop that much because we already have the red cape. You can go with the blue that we used on this second half of the cape, and give
If
it
you
a
want, I
bit
can
of
give you some
contrast.
references, like
For what?
for them.
Okay.
Oh, what are they called?
Could you look up Dreadblade? Dread?
Dread?
Dreadblade?
Blade.
Harrows.
Heralds.
Harrow. Okay, let's. Yeah, it's
Then
like
put
this
in
one.
red.
Red.
Put in red.
Red. Oh shit. God damn it. God damn it. Red. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, the paint is kind of bad.
Go back a little bit. No, just go back. Because I saw one.
Maybe images? Oh, this one?
I'm making a gradient right now. I don't know, I'm improvising, guys.
It's
I think this is what I did
we
on
can
the
go
last.
with black.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah,
want to see it? To have an idea?
we can go with the black on that.
On the rim? Okay.
Mhm.
I go black, blue.
Yeah.
So we have a nice contrast and continuity with the underneath the cape.
Oh, as a side note, I've been looking at things Warhammer, but I'm not interested necessarily in spending my money on a lot of minis. I've discovered a board game that's called Shakespeare, I think,
Okay.
which is from what I understood, 1v1, but you can play it even 1v1v1, basically a free-for-all in 6 people. And they come with maps and about 2 or 3 minis like this one. And I thought they are actually fun. And looking at them, my first instinct was, but does it look good on camera? Because how long have we done Dicesylvania now? 3 years?
Oh, not quite. 2 years,
2
and
years.
I think
It was 2 years.
And something.
It was the 2-year anniversary when we filmed
Yeah.
Starfinder.
yeah, in December.
Basically in 2 years
So
my
in April it's
2 and something.
2 and 5 months, I
Yeah.
think.
We're in Q1.
Yeah, in 2 and 5 months years, my mind goes to things like, oh look, a board game I like, but can you film it? Oh look, an idea I have, but can you film it? It's weird. My brain has become a producer's brain. I can't be happy anymore. I can't buy things for myself. I'm always like, can we film it? Because, and if you don't know that, either I've stopped or I've never bought things like board games for the thing of it. And now having Dicesylvania, I have a reason to maybe buy them. And yeah, I don't know what I want to see with this.
Me neither.
Just stop me, please. Stop me.
Stop, Blair, stop.
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 But yeah, life is hard.
Perspective has changed.
Yeah, my
It's,
perspective has changed.
Who I was before is not me now.
I'm gonna put a little bit more red here because it's
For contrast.
no on the cape. I'm just gonna put like a very thin second layer.
Making a shadow over the first underlayer. I hope it reads nice.
Do you have a bottle armor?
Yes.
Not you. I know you have it. And you know I have one. But do you have it?
I do, but I haven't been on there. You know.
And what are you?
I'm Puff Souffle.
Oh, a Astropuff?
Yes, an Astropuff.
Oh.
Oh, that's.
So we have-
I honestly, I didn't. I thought you were a Slytherin or something else.
No, I'm
You're
a
cool.
proud Hufflepuff.
So we have
Very
a Hufflepuff, a Gryffindor, and a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Hufflepuff, best house.
You know, there's a song that says Hufflepuff makes better lovers.
It's written by a Hufflepuff.
I don't know, but it's very funny. Like, I've seen it on a stream. It's super funny.
I don't know.
And they have like a anti-Slytherin vibe. There's a lot of Harry Potter content, you guys.
Yeah, but Slytherin aren't actually bad.
Not the.
They're ambitious.
Yes. And ambition is not bad.
No, it's not. Like,
Neither is cunning.
neither.
Okay.
So, depends. Like, I do believe
Yeah, it depends
that.
on what you use.
I do believe that unbalances are bad in general. Like, if you have too much ambition
Yeah.
or you're too generous, like, everything can go bad if you're too much of
Yeah.
something. Like, if you're too courageous and don't feel anything and just go head on, but
Yeah, but that's not courage.
Just-
Because courage needs fear.
yeah. Steph, check time.
Check
Wait.
time.
Maybe.
You can.
You can give him. I give him answer. Give him.
What are we checking?
Everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Should I make the red pop more and then the edges?
Which edges?
The edges of the flamey thingies, ghosty thingies?
So I think with red, maybe you can put like another thin layer, just like the one you put on before, so it can be a bit more
Pigmented.
pigmented. Yes.
When you said that, oh, that's nice, I actually had Count Bear in my head because you had the same inflection. And I was like, what?
Tell us, Stefan,
I've
how
known
you...
Count Bear for more time than you guys, so
You
Yeah,
know, you
tell
Count
us.
Bear for longer than you know yourself.
that's not quite true, but
Tell us, how did you meet Count Bear and how do you know him?
I don't remember. We were like 12 or 13 when there used to be this English camp during the summer, in our hometown. And that's where we first met because we were going to different schools back then. And for like 2 or 3 summers, every time we would end up going to that English camp, and then, you know, because it wasn't such a big town, we would hang out afterwards. And then it turned out that we chose the same high school to go to, and we were in the same class.
That's a cute story.
So for like our half of our first year of high school, we sat in the same at the same desk.
The back one?
Yeah,
I knew
yes.
it. I knew it.
Actually, yes.
I knew it.
In
The best
back.
bench, but
In the back.
In the back. You
In the
guys in the back.
Oh, see, I didn't. There's some silver on there that I'm gonna have to fix. Now that's actually harder to fix.
Silver.
Metallic paints are, like I said earlier, they are stronger. So I'm just gonna paint over it and hope it's gonna be okay. It's not really gonna be okay ever again. This horse is forever now
bound by silver.
silver touched.
That's a nice
Super
curse,
chest.
actually.
I mean, I could put on some thick paint, but it's just gonna ruin the vibe. We're just gonna put on some small touches in thin layers, and it's not gonna shine as much anymore, and we're gonna have to be happy with that. Actually, that's not so bad.
Checky time.
But you've
What
already
are we
checked it.
checking?
What should I do next?
So, you can take
The
like
flamies?
a small brush.
Okay.
Let's see, like not a very thin one, but a thin enough one.
Okay.
Oh, that's not thin at all.
Thin is good, you guys.
And do you see those divots on the rim of the cape? Those little.
Yeah.
Put a little dot of silver, if you want to.
On the rim of the cape, there's
Like,
a
look
indentation.
at mine.
Okay, got it.
I'm talking about these.
These little babies. Little babies. Okay, let's see.
And then I think we can do like the lighter,
I'm also putting
wispy, flamey thingies.
With the
this
silver
wispy
or
fairy
what?
thingies.
No, with a light
Oh yeah, right. We were talking about that.
that we're probably gonna light up even a little bit more.
That looks more ethereal.
Yes.
I mean, a lot more ethereal.
Shake it. Shake it.
I don't know if you guys are catching
Why?
the camera.
Oh.
I'm talking with my guys at home.
And I think I have some green on that already, so I want to get rid of it. And get some water and mix some white in it because it's too dark.
I forgot I had to speak more.
It's okay.
The paint mixing got you
Yeah.
hypnotized.
I know for me, I can't draw, I can't paint, and I'm very fascinated by people who actually
Oh, that's
can.
too much paint.
And I actually don't know what to say because
You would think so. When I started painting minis, I really didn't expect anything. I had no idea what I was capable of. And I just, I bought like 2 brushes, a miniature for whoa, sorry, audience, a miniature for the campaign that I was going to play in, and a couple of colors that I decided I would have my character, dressed as.
What colors were they?
So I think I chose like a brown for like leather pants and everything. Purple for the cape. I bought a silver because it was a halfling robe with daggers. And like some flesh tones. Actually not some flesh tones, one flesh tone.
An A flash down. D flash down.
And that was it. And of course, you know, black and white. And I really didn't have any idea what's going to happen, how it's gonna come out. And it turned out horrible, but you could look at it and, you know, say, yeah, that's a halfling.
But that's a start. Like
That's a halfling, and
you could start
with
from
a
first from something.
purple cape.
Inspection time.
That's great. And there's no overspill. Like sometimes I think like maybe this one on mine, there's a little bit of silver.
Yeah, but I corrected them. There was, but you can't see them.
Oh.
Or you can.
No, I cannot.
I'm beginning to suspect that I was tricked and Karla is actually a professional painter.
I'm not, guys. You can see the difference. You can see the difference.
I would say otherwise.
I'm not a professional in miniature painting, but however, I think it's a bit unfair because again, I did training with the lecturer from the painting university in Constanța for art admission.
I have been tricked.
But I have not painted minis.
It doesn't matter. I was tricked.
You were not.
My only
It should be better.
experience with painting besides our painting episode was in 2nd grade when our teacher told us you have to paint a tree, and I drew a rectangle with branches. And
That's cubism.
and she asked, "What's that?" She and her friend, and I said, "That's a tree," and they said, "No, that's a square with branches," and they began to laugh at me. And from that moment onward, I said, "I will not paint nor draw anymore."
So she really cut your Warhammer career short.
Yes.
In the STEM. Like,
Before even it began, before I even knew what Warhammer was. So, thank you for that.
Thank you, Mrs. Labs teacher.
Yes.
Cool. Can I make the flamies? Can I
Yes.
see the flamies? How they are supposed to be?
So
Do you
I
want?
didn't really know what I was going to do here, but I just put on some really watered down paint, and you can see it on mine.
Which
Like
paint?
just on the edges. I used this
Combined
emerald.
with something?
Yes, I put quite a bit of white in it to make it lighter because it's a bit too dark in my opinion. You can see on the palette.
Can I share with you a secret that I used on big painting, not on this? Like, but I don't know if you can make this on miniatures. Like, take it with a grain of salt. Like, whenever you were, this is,
It fell off.
it fell off. Why?
We're gonna put it back. It's okay.
Okay. So,
Front fell off.
Maybe it will be easier to paint inside.
I think I should paint it aside.
No.
So
That's what they do make super glue from.
coming back to it, so a thing that we were supposed to do whenever we are painting, like never forget to mix the former paints into the new paints.
Oh, okay.
So everything
So
sort
they
of
have
have
a-
a muted tone.
So you can have a dégradé.
Not necessarily, like even if you put red, like after you put turquoise, for example, or this is the example. I'm putting emerald green, that is pure green, and I'm combining it apart from the white. I'm combining it with the former turquoise, so they have that undertone of blue, so colors speak to each other. I don't know if this is something that you should do or it's okay to do, but I'm trying to apply that principle to see what's coming. Can I see the areas where it should be applied to?
Well, I basically did it on the wispy sides of the horse. There's like some flames coming from the hooves,
Mm-hmm.
and like the ends here, the tail,
So the wispy sides.
May
And
I take the
also-
mini?
and also on some of the like the wispy sides, the wispy parts of the cloak as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe blend it in a bit.
How do you blend stuff in? Steph?
Just actually, I was not using the correct term, but I guess water it down a bit. I don't know the correct way to do it. I know my way to do it, which is figure it out as you're doing it.
So it's blending like in makeup, like you start
Yeah.
with the edges where it's very strong, and then you sort of water it down and combine it with the former texture.
Yeah.
Okay.
I realized something. You know those stands we use for the flying minis?
Yeah.
I think these would look even greater if you were to stick one of them inside as a base and call them just simply shades.
What?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not
Instead of
following.
the horse.
Yeah. I see what you
You take a base for a flying creature,
Mm-hmm.
you stick it inside of the dread whatever this was, and you call it a wraith.
I got it.
Plus it's a dynamic mini, so...
So I'm improvising this technique. I don't know if it's working or not. Where I sort of take a bigger brush and I blend it with water as you go further from the beginning area.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm improvising.
This is called improvisation.
Oh, and
I
the
need
horse.
better
I forgot that the
instructions.
horse has a mane.
Oh yeah.
I also painted that. The mane.
The mane.
The mane of the horsey. I'm gonna stop like making diminutive jokies.
Jokes.
No more diminutives.
No more diminutives in the. You know what? It's Les' fault. He laughed at my Napoleon army jokies,
No more dimmies.
I wasn't the only one who laughed.
and then you encouraged me. So now I'm just making this like everything in tiny language.
Everything is small.
Everything is schmolly.
Schmolly.
I'm stopping.
But not as tiny as teeny.
You know
and-
what? I'm gonna just start
Oh,
speaking in this voice.
No.
In
This
the-
damn miniature needs to be tamed.
How? It almost sounds like whisper, kinda.
This.
Kinda.
No.
No.
my
Oh, no.
dear, This is Martes.
Oh yeah,
I'm
right.
just gonna take Lucius by the side.
Yeah, we're gonna take Lucius, take his hair, and
No,
ride him. Oh no.
No, let us not go there. But sure.
Not again.
Not again. Of course. Yes. Step into the darkness. Oh yes.
Step into my chamber. Yeah.
Oh.
Where is Lucius? I'm ready to get funky.
Where is Gandalf?
Where is he?
For I much desire to speak
Look
with
at
him.
him. Oh yeah. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Got.
God.
The hobbits, the hobbits.
The hobbits to Isengard.
That was the first trap, you guys. Trap music.
Oh yeah.
Before it was cool.
So basically, the hobbits invented golf, and also Lord of the Rings invented trap. Damn,
Yeah.
that Tolkien guy.
He knew it all.
Yeah.
But he was a racist, so what?
Was he?
Was he?
Definitely.
You're not thinking of Lovecraft?
I knew about Lovecraft.
Yeah. Which is actually weird, because the only book that's outright racist, actually, story, is Red Hook.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know if it comes across in his writings as
No,
much.
it doesn't.
I just know that he was so racist that other racist people were like, to just
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah,
a little
but-
bit, like you're a bit too extreme, even for
The
us.
funny thing is, I'm not trying to, defend him or something,
Who?
but Lovecraft.
Okay.
But one, he was born when he was. He was born in a family from New England, which is already. Ooh. And also, from what I've understood, before his death, I think 2 years before, he actually regretted most of his work,
like Shadow over Innsmouth, which is
Okay.
a good book. And I think Guillermo del Toro put it very nice when he said that he was a specimen that almost got off of the Mayflower from the ship. So that's why. I mean, again, I'm not defending anyone.
I didn't follow. So, doing the flames of the bottom of our horse, trying to sort of make it work. I don't know what I'm doing, guys.
Do some white as well at the top. Tippy
I'm
top.
trying also to put some white at the teepees. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Because I think it's looking good with like the
Highlights.
and
Also, the base could remain like this because, it's symbolic that everything they touch dies and the color fades out, so...
It could be a possibility. I believe.
I mean, my lazy brain would say,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good idea to
That
not
works, right?
to not work.
that's a good excuse.
Yeah.
Maybe no. Still need a bit more color, but I don't want to put too much white on it. Maybe I'm going to dry brush it. Maybe just the very tips and then blend it a little bit.
A little bit.
And
Little
then
bit.
dry brush the rest. Because I don't like how strong this. Again, I don't know what kind of white, black, purple magic they use when they make these pigments. But white and black are so strong. Like I thinned it down already a lot,
And it's still strong.
and it still looks very strong. So I'm gonna take a brush that's not wet and take a little bit of white. Maybe, I think it's a bit dried up. Could you give me a tissue from over there?
Yeah.
So I can
Here you go.
wipe.
And even if
Kind
we
of all of
don't
it.
finish painting them now, I think we could do the same thing we did last time when we took pictures of the final ones and posted them.
Yeah, it's also an option.
Plus, the fast painting was actually fast. I mean,
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised with how large these were. They still are large. With how large these are, I was kind of expecting it to take a bit longer, but because we have these large elements on them, the capes, the horse, which we don't have a lot of variance in color to keep switching colors and switch from a different paint to another. It really went quite fast. I'm used to painting stuff with a lot of details that you have to go in and you want to differentiate them, so you use different colors. Or you just have to be very careful because there are small parts and small, there's a belt and a coin purse and something, and they're small and you have to get just that one. And here we could just go crazy and it went quite fast.
plus
Kind of surprised me.
Kind of looked already done. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, but we still need to put the what's it called?
Wraith, the dread.
The
thing.
dry brush and the
Oh, yeah.
one that goes in the creases. What's it
The
called?
wash.
The wash.
I don't think we even need a wash on all of the mini. There's just some spots, some places where we could apply a wash. Mainly the areas that are rich in detail, like these. It's not stirrups. I don't know what these are called.
The
The
straps.
horse tackle. The horse tackle, maybe the horse, the horse skull and the knuckles on the hands, and like, for example, the base would be a very good place to, you know, wash, but we haven't painted it. We can still give it a wash and see how the black makes it pop a little bit more, maybe. We'll see. But I just realized that I should also maybe paint the hooves black, because I've kind of mixed them.
They will pop out a bit more. They're black.
What I also love about these minis with these bases being so large, don't really need a holder for your, you can just hold them
Oh, so not a cork from a wine
like a
bottle.
cork or a, you know, there's all sorts of types of holders, and these are so, because they're so high from the base and the base is so large, you can just hold it by here and paint. Yeah, I think I'm happy with what I have.
Okay. I mean, it looks awesome.
I also did some rust on the blade with a, I don't know what this is, it's a dreadnought yellow, which looks very orange to me,
Yeah.
and a little bit of red, and just put it on a dry brush and just poked it onto the sword. But I think I'm going to stop here with the color. Maybe just fix the ribs a little bit, because I have some bleed
Okay.
through.
I would like a dry brush and I don't think a bronze. I have a bronze. A dry brush? I have a dry brush.
What are you trying to
size?
do?
The horse details on the thingies to dry brush them.
The horse tackle?
Yeah, the
Okay. So let's see, we want a larger brush, and if it's short, it's perfect. And get a little bit of white on it, but don't get it wet.
okay.
That's what she said.
White, not bronze.
I think you'll find with white.
Give me white.
White. Bone white.
Not bone white.
Not bone white.
Whitey white.
And get a, thank you,
Welcome.
a tissue.
Can I do it here?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
And I'm smudging it until there's no, I don't know. if you see it.
Since there's not a lot of paint left on it.
There's not a lot of paint, and I'm gonna go over it. To pop out. You see how things in relief. I don't know right now.
Back.
Sort of in the foreground. As there's this 3D model, the things in the foreground pop out.
Yeah, I did the same thing with silver on mine, and it didn't really. Metallics aren't really amazing to dry brush unless you have like a sword or something where you can just go over it. Metallics have a lot of particles in the paint, like shimmer or glitter or whatever they have, and they just don't really like to behave that much, and they also ruin brushes.
They ruin brushes?
Why?
Why?
I don't know if I have any on me, but when you have paint dry inside the brush, you know, it's not gonna be great for the life expectancy of the brush to have that happen. But when you have metallic paint dry inside the brush, it's just
Definitely.
dead. It's just gone. You cannot get all of that glitter and everything out of that brush. It's just gonna stay there forever.
They are called metallic paints because they actually have metal in them.
I don't think they have
Or-
necessarily metal.
They have substances that imitate metal
Oh,
texture.
okay.
But they
Like
definitely
silver.
have like mica powder, maybe.
Oh, okay.
What's mica powder?
Which is like a. Let's see. Does it say anything on it?
If it says it's really small.
No, it's not. It's probably not because it's not something you eat. They don't have to put the ingredients on there. Mica powder is like this very, very fine. It's not glitter, but it's kind of like glitter. It's like a shimmer. Like when you see those bottles, those potion bottles with sort of glitter inside, that's usually mica powder. Or people use it for sparkly dice when they custom make dice.
May I ask a question that might be spoilerish?
Of course.
Should we expect more than 2 riders? Okay,
No.
that's told me everything.
No, definitely. You shouldn't expect anything.
Okay, so we are painting them just for the funsies.
Oh
right?
no, I will definitely use them in the battle. There's gonna be something like you never seen before on this channel. I can guarantee you this.
And let's see, I'm gonna put a bit of wash on this part. And it sort of outlines the other details. There's a bit too much, it's kind of full, but yeah.
Can I get the turquoise? This one? Or is
The
this?
one you use here?
No, the other one. The one that has a bit of blue.
And you can see already like the skull is kind of gaining a bit of detail on it.
I dry brush everything with white.
You can also like, for example, if you want to have like a lighter red on the cape, in some points, you can use you don't have to use white necessarily, you can just use a lighter red.
Okay.
Can you give me the turquoise
I'm
one?
definitely gonna use that.
I think that
Green
that
blue.
one?
Blue-green.
Blue-green, yeah. That's turquoise.
And I'm gonna also use some here on the knuckles because I want to make those pop a little bit. Usually with most minis I would just go crazy with the black wash, like all over the miniature. But with these we put on such thin layers of paint already that at least on these large surfaces, I don't feel like we really need washes.
Is it better to put multiple layers or just one?
Of wash or
Both
paint?
wash, paint,
So
both.
I think with washes you're kind of done with one layer. With paint it depends. You don't want to build up too many layers, but a couple of layers will help you keep sort of consistency, because just one layer you're gonna probably see brush strokes or just splotchy areas where you don't have the same consistency of the application. So when you come with a second layer, you're gonna homogenize it a little bit. With washes, I think you might darken it a bit too much if you do that.
And for the speed painting technique, is there such a thing as a bad mini to paint? I mean, size or anything that might get really, really hard?
Yeah, there's anything that's gonna have like large flat areas. It's working against you. It's not really working for you. Speed painting helps you when you've got a lot of small details, like here on the horse tackle, because then you can really use it in your advantage. When you have like a large flat area, you can't really do any dry brushing beforehand to make it pop. It's just it's a large flat area. there's not really much you can bring out. So yeah, with those you probably just wanna, you know, use a steady layer of paint and that's it. And let's see what happens here. This was already popping a lot.
I will rise up for a bit because I have to check on something.
Forgive me. Sorry.
And I have returned. Have you missed me?
Yes,
For the 20 seconds?
definitely.
We didn't know it would ever come back.
Oh no!
We cried so much.
I was lost in a
Thank
void.
God so far.
It's all recorded. Everything is recorded.
No!
If you're lying to me, I will know.
Mm-hmm.
And I will commit seppuku with my character.
Oh, not again.
Yes, as a revolt.
Sudoku.
Sudoku.
Sudoku. Ew, I don't know what I'm doing here. I did boo-boo.
Did you use it on the base? Or?
The wash?
Yeah.
I did. It didn't do much. It just darkened it up a little bit. Because maybe if we painted it before. But since we went ahead with leaving it as it is, I think it doesn't really need a wash to paint. The base.
So, should I wash it as well, the base, or no?
No, not really. I don't think it does anything.
I will be very disappointed if whenever we'll meet them, you will not say or Paul that the ground they walk dies
Okay.
and color disappears.
Okay. Please be disappointed.
I don't know.
What the fuck I did here?
What?
I'm feeling that I'm improvising too much. Stefan, please give me some guidance.
Guidance.
Okay. Wow, you did a lot more than I did.
I told you, I was bamboozled. We've both been
It's bad?
bamboozled.
No, it's really good. It's really good.
Okay, what should I do next?
Next. So, you can do like I did
Yes.
and use...
I'm also the right there.
Let's see. So we're gonna have to super glue this guy on here. I think, yeah, this little spot where he had a post to go inside broke, and he has one left here at in his hand. We're gonna super glue that back there. But what I think you should do next is add a black wash to his knuckles.
With what paint?
Black.
With what brush, sorry?
Just use a clean brush.
So none of these? If I clean them?
I mean, just use a new one.
Okay.
Get a bit of black and a lot of water and put some on the skull, the horse skull, the rider's skull, the rider's hands, and maybe the horse tackle. And the rest is...
What's the horse tackle?
You know, the
the
hardware.
Okay.
The
The thing is that we don't know how it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the rest is looking really good.
Now, because I've seen some transgression. I remembered last time we've painted. Is it okay to leave your brushes in the water?
Not really, but
My memory still serves me well.
I'm done.
I usually just you don't want to leave your brushes anywhere where they're gonna stay like this,
Okay.
because you're gonna bend the bristles and you want the bristles to be straight. So avoid leaving your brushes inside the water like this. Just, you know, wash them off, dry them up, and leave them on the table or anywhere. And I think I'm happy with this one. So I'm gonna do what I usually do at the end.
Say a prayer.
And then I just take some black. And because there's a lot of...
Thank you.
Because there's a lot of stuff, you know, like from dry brushing and everything that fell on the base. I'm just gonna make the rim of the base black again.
Stop drinking from the
As-
brush water.
Oh no,
As Game Workshop intended it to be.
Daddy. May I have some of your paint water?
No.
Oh.
You had some last time.
Forbidden water.
You know how that go.
Yeah.
How that went.
Very nicely, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I think I am ready to clean my brushes.
That's that?
I don't know where I can go from here to improve it, so I think if I try to improve it, I'm just gonna make it worse.
There's like the thing with makeup with girls. Like if the date gets late, you're gonna improve it up to one point, and then it only goes downhill from there.
When you're painting, you have to make many decisions, and the last decision you make is where you stop.
That's wicked.
And like I said, we can come back in a couple of months and
Redo them. Redo it.
continue where we left off. But I'm very happy with. Honestly, I'm surprised with how well it turned out. Oh, actually, I'm not done.
Ooh.
See what happens when you're too brave.
That's why I'm never brave.
I'm gonna take a little bit of
I'm
white
very brave. I'm a Gryffindor.
I'm a coward.
and
I'm a Slytherin.
highlight this horse's mane a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Make it look a bit more wispy.
Wispy? Wispy.
Wasn't there a character named Wispy?
Yes, it was Whisper.
Oh yeah, then
Whisper's
Sippy called her.
Sippy, Wispy.
Yeah, but that's. Other than that, I don't think. Or.
Or we could put some glitter.
I mean, the blade
Make a
is
mustache?
already kind of rusted up and everything. What you can do with the blades, what I sometimes, not always, but sometimes do with the blades is take some black and weather them a little bit. Like a little black dry brush. Make them look even more used up, and or even this bronze part because it's too shiny now.
We should have a fast cut of Steph after about 5 hours saying, oh, another thing.
Okay, I'm done now.
I'm almost done. I'm gonna send this for inspection. I am just wet brushing with black everything. What? No, that's not right.
You're what? Brushing?
You're what?
Wet brushing? I don't know.
Washing.
Washing, yeah.
You don't have to wash.
But it's so cool. I like the effect.
Okay.
I'm transfixed. Not everything, just the parts.
Just
not
the parts.
not the wispy parts.
Not the parts, just the other parts.
The other parts. And you know what I wanna do? I'm gonna send this for inspection as they cool. I wanna just make the hoofs silver or something so they
Oh yeah,
just the
sure.
hoofs.
Just the poop.
The poop.
Just the poops.
The
Do you need
poop.
more silver?
Thoughts.
Still.
It's still wet, drying. Is it
I
wet?
really love what you did here. I think yours is turning out a little better than mine.
I don't think so.
I do.
I've said it. Karla is a double agent.
I'm not. I am proud I did good, and George, whose minis are this, by the way, will not be upset because he plays Warhammer.
We're just gonna have to glue them.
Yeah. I'm sorry for
If you see this, Eddie, I'm sorry.
there's a glue in that box. We can even glue it. So, what should
on
we
camera?
make what should we make the hoofs?
Silver?
Silver?
You wanted silver?
But which silver?
Silvery bars. I don't know.
You got the steel.
Steel, silver.
Iron breaker. And then we have the other silver.
Which one?
They are very similar.
I would check this one because it has like an undertone of blue. Ew! I got so dirty on with my fingers. Fingers. Oh.
Maybe on yours you could put a bit more black wash on the horse's skull.
Okay.
Like let it pull in a little bit.
Okay.
And it's gonna dry up and it's gonna be fine.
Okay.
I returned with some glue. But I have to tell you, I have sniffed about half of it.
Don't be crazy.
Let's check if it's dry. No, it's fine.
I think it's brand new, if I'm not mistaken.
No, there's a lot of
It's brand
hardened
old.
glue on here, but
Brand old.
you can see this is not a brand new
Yeah.
Situation.
what do you call it? It's not a bottle.
A tube, yeah.
Tube of glue.
A tube of glue.
Which kind of rhymes?
To glue.
Glue, glue,
To glue.
To glue.
To glue.
glue.
To glue. To glue.
Yeah. Now I want to do the silver as well. See?
Can I borrow the silver?
Yes, of course. I'm done with it.
Silver.
Silvery bulbs.
Well, still, but still.
And what did you make to the base? You made it black back?
I didn't do anything.
You said you
yeah, just like the rim of the base,
Mm-hmm.
like the very
Very, very,
Edge.
very.
The edge.
You know the minis that have the black edges?
Okay, so I make the edge black.
Yes.
I'm putting a lot of black wash that I am making with my black. I'm washing it and I'm making it and put it here to stay.
Now I feel bad that I'm not painting.
I
Well,
mean,
next
time
I will
I will
remember-
comment. I will do your job and you paint.
Yay.
I will
But what?
But what? Of course, like leave in the
get on
comments.
the highest tier on Patreon and request.
Requests?
Not the highest, just
Let-
$5 and you can request
For Lair to paint.
Yes.
for other stuff.
But put in the parentheses, we want Lair to paint an Eldritch Horror.
I mean, you're influencing them.
I know.
Maybe put in the parentheses, we want Lair to play paint a Barbie.
Ooh.
Oh,
In a more slasher way.
A Barbie or a Barbie?
Barbie.
Both.
A Barbie
A Barbie.
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 Why
Barbie.
haven't anyone... Wait a minute. Why haven't anyone created a character named Barbie or Bardi who's actually a bard? But she's
I mean,
Barbie?
I also managed a group on D&D, the Romanian group, and there was some joke with Barbie.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. When the Barbie movie came out and we did the Barbie dress up.
Oh,
Like, hi
right.
Barbie.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the horriblest filming ever because we
Yeah.
shoot 2 episodes in the same
Yeah.
day. And
Our producer minds thought that it would be best to shoot the Barbie one first and then the normal one.
yeah.
And let's say that me and Karla were washing our heads
in the sink without
yeah,
shampoo.
in the sink without. I think I've washed it with shower gel or something like that.
It was horrible. Like, don't
Do that at
Like,
home.
don't shoot Barbie videos.
Just shoot
before-
Barbie.
shoot Barbie videos the second.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Are we inspecting?
Yes.
Inspecting, and I think.
Is it
gluing?
ready to glue?
It's ready. I think we need a dry surface for glue.
Do you want more of these?
No, we don't want to wipe anything off.
No, for to put the. Oh. Okay.
I'm
So.
washing my painties.
Let's see. We have this spot here where it goes, and this spot here, and then I think I'm gonna want to put some glue on this. Actually, let's not
Yeah.
splat glue.
Do you need
all over.
a toothpick? Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Let me
I
Get you
think
some.
this is this is
cook.
yeah.
Okay, maybe we have another.
You know what we can do? We can do this. and see if there's any glue left in here.
I'm washing the painties now.
Yeah, so there's like what initially I thought was like a nozzle. It's actually just glue dried in shape of the nozzle that was on top of it.
Scissors?
I don't. Yeah, sure, we're gonna try, but otherwise I think we can glue them later.
We can glue them later, and if we manage to glue them later, you're gonna see them popping out in the boxes as they're filmed.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is quite dried. But
Hey,
we
Stefan.
still have one post
Yeah.
that we can use to like sort of hold it in.
Yeah.
Just with the hand there, and
That's
should
it.
be fine as long as we don't.
Touch it too much. I didn't paint the base though.
So, as you can see, any noob can paint.
Thank you.
Sometimes better than someone with experience,
Yeah.
apparently.
No, it's not better. I'm sorry, but it's not.
How was fast painting for you guys? How did it feel?
Therapeutical. I thought it would be more stressful, and Stefan is a great teacher.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot faster actually than I usually do it because this is the first time I'm painting something large like this. So I'm surprised with how well it went. Usually there's well, maybe we didn't have those 40 minutes at first where I decide what colors I should use.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
And I'm not watching anything right now, so to get distracted. So
It's also that. But it was very fun, guys, and I learned a lot of stuff.
And so our second episode of painting must come to an end. Right?
The third episode.
Is the third episode?
Yeah, we had the Christmas one, and then with Don and Alexander and Ionuț and the other.
Oh, damn!
Yeah.
The third episode of painting has
But
come to an
guys,
end.
if you're curious when we're gonna use these minis, you can check Vim next week. And if you don't know what Vim, the Tale of Immortality or D&D game, long D&D game stands for, you can
What are you doing here?
You can even begin. No, you can even begin it right now. It's cool and it's fun. It has a rotating cast and it's super fun.
And as stated in the beginning,
the beginning.
check our Patreon if it's up.
It's up.
And if it's
Check it in the
it's up. We said it. It's up. It's up.
It's up. It's up.
And join. I don't know. Tier 1. Maybe you want to have some thank yous. Tier 2. Maybe you want to tell
Or
me
tier
what.
3 and 4, and it could be something very cool that we hadn't figured out yet. But even if you don't want to join our Pantheon, like, subscribe, and share this with your friends so you have something to talk about and you learn how to paint. It's gonna be very nice and it's gonna help us a lot. If you made this far into the video, we love you very much. Thank you for watching us, and
Good day, good night, and don't let the vampires bite.